so many dreams with so many ideas. But first, a cup of tea to wake up to. He thinks it's all over and that I've forgiven him. But I just need to do it at the right time and make it look like a good accident. So many fantastic dreams. So many ways for him to die. Poison. That's a good one. He did like that pie I made him. Maybe I could do that again. He loved these.
Oh, it's definitely forgiven me. Tea and homemade biscuits. These are good. Tastes a bit funny.
Biscuits would be easier to bake than a pie. But no, wait. Poison isn't natural. He's too young for it to make it look like it was natural. No. But falling out the window, accidents do happen naturally here. Yes, that's a good idea.
Oh, hey, hon, I'm just in the windows. Hey, don't you push me.
No.
It's a long drop. Ah!
Oh, but no. Phil can swim, and it's not guaranteed. I need something solid that is guaranteed. What about if I reversed the car onto him as we went shopping once and asked him to check the mail and accidentally hit reverse? Accidentally, I like that. Oh, hun, could you go and get something from the boot of the car for me, please? No, I like my car too much. It'll be dense and messy and it doesn't work, no. But wait a minute. Phil's going to be using wood chipper today. That works. It's guaranteed. And accidents do happen. They really do.
We've been given some rose bushes, which will look really nice here and give a spot of colour, but we need to clear this area and sort it out into some nice flower banks, much like we're doing in lots of places. First job, as you can tell, let's get the grass cut so we can actually see what we're doing. As you can tell, we're having a bit of a British summer in France, very wet, but I am doing this. It's not going to look fantastic straight away because it gets a bit messy. Cleared all of this, got rid of a stump that was here, and we've done the line. Now we can put down the weed controlling mat, the French call it bâche, and put some wood chips over the top of that to make it look nice and pretty. It's got some old wood chips here for mulch before we put the bâche down. I think the roses will look good here.
They will look stunning and really light up this green space. These bushes on either side, by the way, are camellias, and they tend to be the first ones flowering during the end of winter. And the wood chips Phil has mentioned are just over here. Of course, if you've seen our previous episodes, you do know that we have a wood chipper machine, and you can control the size of wood chip, so you can go from something this size to something really small. And we purposely chopped it to very fine so they decompose very quickly, because that's just a really great base for the roses and soil overall, to improve their fertilization. And obviously then we'll put the weed mat on top and bigger wood chips for decoration on top of that. But yeah, this is gonna look really nice, the space. I'm looking forward to having a bit of definition.
In between the rain showers, thankfully none right this second, which means we can get the camera out. It's now time for the actual weed mat. The French call it bâche. It comes in various different names, and this bit's the bit where you actually really see a difference, and it's quite fun and really easy. It just comes in a roll, stick it over the top, we've done it the right length, and then you just roll it out.
Like so, nice and easy. I particularly love the French word use of it, bâche. It's like bashing the weeds over their heads.
Why do you like the word bâche?
No reason. So here's a close-up of the fabric. You can just about see my hand. This isn't very thick. There are various thicknesses. It looks exactly the same behind, but it does let the water go through it, and it does let it breathe. So all the rain does permeate through it, and it's a little bit UV resistant, but we will be putting some wood chips on top when we have finished. But yeah, this is really good stuff to protect yourself from never-ending weed pulling. So where did we get inspired by using the weed suppressant from? Well, France does it quite a bit, actually. Stop it, put it down, I can see it. Good attempt, failed. But why haven't we done it before, Philly?
Because we're stupid.
To be honest, I think a lot of French use the very plastic looking one, and I really hate the look of it. And actually they put a few plants around, and the plants never they're so spaced apart that it never actually covers the black looking weed suppressant.
Well, they don't cover it. Most places we see this stuff, it's not covered.
Yeah.
So you've got your plants growing through it, but you just see this stuff, and obviously that's not the look we were going for. So that's why I don't think we've ever.
Yeah, exactly. And then I thought, well, we don't have to go the same route. We can be a bit different and obviously have it completely covered because we've got the wood chipper. So that is the plan. We're doing the landscaping bit. We are hopefully easing our life finally after 5 years of learning for the future. And actually, as part of the landscaping, it's kind of decorating and really accentuating the beauty of this place, such as obviously the stone walls that the moat is surrounded by. So that's a really nice feature here that the rose bushes are really going to enhance as well.
Let's get it done.
Yes.
I've started here. Basically, you secure it with these fun little clips, and you just hit them into the ground through it in the right places to keep it all down. I'll show you. I need my mallet.
Here you go. Take it.
I'm not allowed things like that.
This is just to secure it and make sure that it's not moving anywhere and no weeds can lift the weed mat.
There.
So really, really good idea. Come on, bash it.
Yeah, I like that.
Few more to go. And here we go. All of this area is now staked in and laid out, and it's looking wonderful. Of course, I have already rounded this bush. I will need to do that in future, but at least we can start to plant the rose bushes here. If you notice this wall, if I slightly go to the side, it's actually curved, And we'll be doing exactly the same method of weed protector in the back garden where we will be planting the rose bushes where we've dug up and made a real mess. But obviously over there it's going to be a lot easier because the wall is actually straight. So fingers crossed, our life will become easier, and better late than never. You're probably wondering how we will be getting the rose bushes through the weed bat. So Philly. Yes, good old traditional way. So yeah, just using good old scissors and making a snip in the fabric. Nice and simple.
I do make a cross, do I? Isn't it? Yeah?
Yeah, a nice cross. And once you've cut your cross, all you need to do is fold it over and get your rose bush in. Woohoo! Probably easier to fold it under for now. That way it holds in place. That's it. Make a hole, plant your bush, fill up with soil, fertilizer, etc. and then cover the hole and wood chips. Nice and simple. Even Lightning has come to join in the rose bush planting. Oh, look at that sweet face. He just couldn't resist but help out. He's really great like that.
Hello.
Daddy kiss?
I don't know that that's really helpful actually, mate.
It's so cute. The rose bush is right here in front of us. He just wants to see. He's so curious. So now all the rose bushes are planted. They're looking lovely. We need to lay some wood chips. Now, Philly, are you going to get the wood chipper now?
No. No. I've got to do the digger moat. You know, the digger's got to go back, so I've got to go and try and, you know, excavate some of the moat.
Oh.
So what is it with you and wood chips at the moment? You're always on to me about the wood chipper. The main reason for borrowing the digger is to test out a theory. Can a digger that I can borrow sometimes reach deep and far enough into the moat to be able to dredge it, as that would enable us to do the job sooner because we would have less higher costs on equipment. So I'm going to test that out today. But simply, the moat, if you don't know, this is the inflow section. This is where the water comes in. And this is designed to catch as much of the silt and sediment as possible, and it's quite slow with a small retaining wall at the end. That means what's left is really only now a few inches of water and the rest is silt, whereas it should be about 1.5 meters, almost 2 meters deep. So it's quite a serious job because the slower the water coming in, the less flow there is elsewhere. But this is the first place to start. So I'm going to give this a go. I've got to get some safety equipment, and I've got to hope that I don't put the digger in the moat because we have to get right on the bank to be able to see if we can dig this out. So let's give it a go.
What's this you got in your hands, Philly?
I get told off all the time in comments for not wearing the right safety equipment. I'm going near a moat with a digger, and you've seen me using it. I'm not taking any chances. Life jacket.
Perhaps you should put that on the digger instead, maybe.
You care about the digger more than me.
I'm just saying, in likelihood it will be the digger going in first.
It would be more expensive to replace than me, to be fair.
So this bank area that we will be working on is pretty clear. It goes straight and then straight down, as opposed to everywhere else where there's a quite huge slope. So this is a really good place to practice and test out to see if this digger will reach that we can borrow from time to time.
Right, let's try not to put this in the moat.
Here's Billy coming through. I'm feeling quite optimistic since he has had a bit of practice of digging out some soil. So yeah, I'm feeling quite optimistic about it all. If not, he can dig his own grave. it's time to extend the bucket. All right, so that's as far as it can reach, and we've got all of this to go, so it's quite clear it's not enough, but I think it's worth trying to see what we can get. Wow, that's a lot of rubbish right there. Hopefully we'll find some stones, but otherwise it's a great compost for our bushes, base of our trees, or our kitchen garden. And if we do find quite a lot of retaining wall stones which has fallen in, we'll be able to use them to rebuild parts of the wall that needs it the most. Now when we dump all the soil over there on the bank, the creepy crawlies of the water world will be able to hopefully climb back into the water. And that way the nutrition goes back into the water for all the fish and all the other bio creatures that rely on each other, which is also good. Here's a rough idea of how far it is for you guys. So this is not even touching the sides, so to speak. Oh, lovely. Spraying me all the way here.
It was great to try out, but as we can see, this digger just doesn't have the reach that we need to get into here, and this is actually the easiest spot. So sadly, it could have worked, it hasn't. Ultimately, we're going to have to hire a digger with a bigger reach to do it. It was worth a try, but look at what we've got out just being here. You get a better idea of how much stuff really is in the moat and how much stuff needs to come out. And of course there's lots of rocks and stuff which are from the bank which has long since eroded. It's nice to get those out. I think I'm going to have to wash the digger down before I give it back to Billy though. That was a lot of fun. It's been a job that I wanted to attempt since the day we moved in, to be honest, and every day I see it getting a slight bit worse. So it's been on my mind every day, and the chance to borrow a digger to try it out was really, really fantastic.
You just wanted to play with it.
Yeah, I did. But what it has done is it's shown that from the equipment that we can beg, borrow and steal from friends, we can't do the job. That's the sad bit about it. So it's back to the original plan, which is either a professional company doing it or a professional hire company because of the equipment needed.
There are so many ways to dredge a moat, and that's what we can find in rural France because it's not as built up. So it's via a long reach digger, which is a specialist company. We actually got a quote for that, which is, quite big.
Yeah.
That's understatement, but it's also like it'll take a very long time because of where he has to dig it rather than a machine like sort of digging it and put it and etc. So basically I think we estimated it's going to take like at least a month to do all of the areas of where the chateau needs it, basically. So that's a very long time. And can you imagine how much stuff we'll get out? I mean, how many stone rock walls, which would be a benefit. Great, a lot of compost and stuff like that, but also a lot of mass, and that actually includes our help as well in that. So it could be even longer. That's us positively estimating, as we always do. It's probably going to be longer.
Yeah. One of the other things which is great about doing the job that we've just done is it's not necessarily wonderful to find out that you can't use your friend's equipment to do a job, so you're going to have to hire somebody in to do it. But it was wonderful to see the extent of the silted upness, you know, how much stuff was in there, how easy it would come out. And it does mean that we're just going to have to slightly change our plan. Once upon a time, we wanted to put the aeration system we were talking about to really help the water levels, you know, the oxygen levels in the water.
Improve,
yeah,
basically,
improve.
yeah.
We said we'd do that after the moat was dredged because it would be the best time to do it. The problem now is I think we're going to change and do that before we dredge the moat, because we can try to find the money for that long before we can try to find the money to dredge it, which will obviously help the animals and the wildlife, which is so in abundance here at the moment and is really coming back, and I really want to help it along a bit more. So
which is why you kind of always hear like the huge amount of birds that we have here. There are lots of wonderful natures that I hear, like dragonflies, you've seen kingfishers and things like that. We even have like deer coming up, you know, like Bambis. It's really amazing here. So this is the reason. Obviously they all need a drink. So I think what we'll do is that's always going to be there, like the dredging, but it's slightly on the back burner. But the aeration system is simple. It's a long weighted tube, so it's got a weight to it, and it will go all around the chateau and all the inlet of water. Basically, it'll cover all the water areas. It's going to be a lot of meters of that tube, and it's a bit like irrigation system for the gardens. You know, it's going to have, instead of water seeping out through the porous holes, it's going to have air coming out.
Big pumps,
yeah, exactly. Big pumps pushing air under the water through that tube and basically aerating it all. And what that's going to do primarily is stop all the algae that you see in our videos sometimes. Obviously leaves are there, but it'll also push out the leaves and make the water quality clear. At the moment you always see the water quality either brown or green, depending on whether it's sunny or cloudy. And that is the reason there's a lot of a lot of organisms in there which would die out, which are unhealthy, which would die out with the inclusion of air in the water, and you will be able to see the carp that we have here swimming a lot more clear. So I'll be able to film those and feed them and everything. You'd love it, guys. Absolutely love it.
Yeah, so that comes down to the next little part of this segment, and that is the question which gets asked a lot, and we're very thankful to everybody, which is, how can we help?
So now, if you'd like to get involved, here is how you can finally.
Yes. We took your lead, lots of people asked us, and we've got Patreon and Buy Me a Coffee, and they're not donation, they're subscription or simply gifts. And what we do is we have the goals set on there, which enable us to get to the certain point. So what you're being involved in is a certain project here. I think the first one we're going to be the aeration system, and then after that we're going to get up to the actual dredging.
Yeah, I think it's the most realistic to start with the aeration, given that, you know, the cost of that is a lot lower, and it's something that we can achieve. I think the cost came to about, well, when we last checked last year, it was £1,500. I think it's definitely gone up because obviously there'll be duties and obviously it's COVID.
Yeah.
So we'll need to check that again, but I think it would have not gone up too far than 1,700. But by calculations, it's about, what, between, depending on the tiers and stuff like that, it's between 300 to 500 patrons or coffees. So whichever one you'd like to subscribe for, you don't even have to subscribe.
Exactly. And so the reason why we like these platforms is because we get to give you something back, and that's really important to us. That's kind of the whole point about what we do.
Yeah.
You know, be it giving back to the local community here through opening for our events, or through the channel. So they're quite important. I call Patreon the Netflix of YouTube, because you get exclusive content from behind the scenes.
Yeah.
And I don't know what you call it. Is it a bit like a reality show compared to the vlog?
Keeping up with the Bailleul's.
Keeping up with the Bailey's Mid.
Yeah,
Brilliant.
so it's exclusive access that you will get with that. You obviously also will get access discounts to our events. So you will have discount on food and drink. You will have also discount on the merchandise, such as our lovely cups, t-shirts, hoodies, anything like that. So check that out as well.
There are lots of very different levels with different things, and it ranges from all sorts. And things like the Q&As, where you get to give in the pre-done questions for our live Q&As. The behind the scenes stuff, like I said, I filmed this very much like you're just with me having a coffee, walking around. I'm showing you stuff. I really like that. Obviously there's kind of direct messaging with us because through Patreon and Buy Me a Coffee, and it really, there's so many different things, right
Gifts,
up to gifts. You mentioned the gifts.
I like gifts.
Yeah, and right up to literally coming and spending some time with us here as our guests. So it really is varied. Like, I'm not going to go into all of it because it's a bit too much.
Check it out.
And check it out if that's of interest. And like I said, if it's not, thank you so much for watching the videos anyway. But if it is, because lots of people ask, there it is. Have a look. And
if you want to be part of it and make a change and difference, then do check it out and sign up, or just buy us a coffee, really. I think, but based on that calculation, because how realistic it is, we'll be able to hopefully hit our target within maybe 2 months, maybe longer. But either way, I think realistically we'll be able to get that aeration system purchased and put in this year. We've got some time to go.
Yeah. Oh, Angelina's alarm. I've long used Patreon, which we've had for really helping the channel go, stay going. Things like when you saw in another video the wide angle lens popped off and got killed by a digger, and it's actually, you forget that some of this equipment really doesn't last when you're trying to use it in this way. Microphones, all sorts of
batteries.
Things. But I think it's about time that we kind of put it towards some of the major jobs, because if we don't, then one, you're all asking how you can help do it, and two, it's going to end up too late and we won't actually manage to do it before it's too much work.
Yeah. I think this is the quickest, it's the best way to go forward, because it will improve the water quality, and you will know that you are making a huge difference, not just to displays, but actually to the nature around. And you will start to see, I think, the difference I read about 2 weeks time or so after the initial switch on. So I'm really excited for that, if that were to happen.
I'm looking forward to it. Obviously we're putting money to one side for it as well, where we can find it, and let's get to that point. Right, enough about that. We've still got work to do. You need me to fire up the wood chipper?
Yes, please, please, go ahead.
Time, wood chips everywhere.
That would be lovely, yes, wood chips everywhere.
Right, see you soon.
Finally, he's going to be using that wood chipper. And I hope there won't be any accidents happening there. And as always, a special thanks to our VIP tier patrons.